Hey folks, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3, where we are in the middle of a battle against the Netherbrain. We have chained it and have an opportunity to defeat it now. The unbreakable will of the Netherbrain, level 20. Let's take a look. Chains of Karsus. The Netherbrain is too powerful for even the momentary god's magic. Karsus' compulsion could not dominate it completely. Ends if the caster is incapacitated, stunned, polymorphed, or knocked out. Okay. The spell has instead bound the brain's will in place temporarily. To complete the domination, you must strike it down. It has no resistances, but it does have psionic retribution. The Netherbrain permits no interference. As a reaction to taking damage, it releases brainquakes. 10d6 psychic damage. Emit a wave of psionic force that mind breaks nearby enemies. On save, still take half damage. Affected entity is slowed by the Netherbrain's psyche shattering might. Okay, so we want to come in one at a time so that we're not affected as badly by the brainquakes and do as much damage as we can. Let's fly over here first with our boy Orpheus. Now, one thing we definitely want to do is get perilous stakes. I don't know if I don't think we want fierce perilous stakes. What's our chance to land this anyway? 5%? Okay, so it sort of doesn't matter. We want big single target attacks. So like a critical hit on a strike on a sneak attack from Astarion would be good. Let's see if we can start here. He is threatened now. What can we do with him? Potent concentrated blast, 96. So realistically only half that damage because it's not concentrating on a spell. 9d6 is 9 times, yeah. So that's only going to be half of that. That's going to be, what, 54 damage? We can't extract brain. We've only got a 5% chance on fierce perilous stakes. 37 there. So we need big, big hits to try to avoid the brainquakes as much as possible. Now he can hit here. 35. I mean, his biggest hit is going to be the potent concentrated blast. That'll only do 54 though. I guess we get started here. There's a good chance he goes down. He does have a potion of superior healing. He could flurry of blows, strengthen force tunnel. I guess we just take our shot here. 23 damage. We took 17 and can't use reactions. Okay. It is still threatened. Let's get Astarion in here. What does this count as? An aberration. I don't know if we have a aberration slaying or not. Dame Aylin's almost dead. Let's try with Astarion. Let's get him in here. He doesn't have an action. So our best bonus action then is going to be drinking a potion of resistance and ending turn. We don't want him in there to face the we don't want him in there to face the brainquakes if we don't need it. Let's drink this. Drink it? Oh, it's not his turn. Okay. I guess we have to end his turn here. Who's up next? This thing? Oh, they've already all gone. Shadowheart can go, and this spiritual weapon can go. I mean, all we have left here is... We probably want to get out. We probably want to get everyone in to avoid the Netherbrain anyway. I don't think there's anything we can do with this, so I'm going to just dismiss the summon. I don't know whose turn it is. Dame Aylin. Okay. Does she have a potion? She does not. She could do one big strike and go unconscious. She can't. She does have lay on hands, it looks like. No, she doesn't have lay on hands charges. What can she actually do here? Cleave, lacerate, abjure enemy, lunar smite, lunar flare, fly. I don't think she's super useful in there. She'll just die. She'll just die from... I wonder why she doesn't have... What? She doesn't have spell slots? She doesn't have spells she knows? Okay. There doesn't seem to be anything I can do with her, so I'm going to end her turn. The tentacles can't do anything. What's happening now? Okay. The brain can't do much. This thing's gonna start firing, which is very bad for us. It's sending more folks down to fight, it looks like. Okay, let's use you. You're not gonna be able to do much. Let's use you to distract this mind flayer. Let's fly you over there and get engaged with him. Go ahead and smite this fool. Okay, that's your turn. Carlock, she can do a lot of damage, but she doesn't have the big hits. I think we need to get in there anyway. Let's have her drink. Well, she's raging, right? Is she raging? Yeah, she's raging. Let's have her go in.
It's will.
And let's do whatever we can.
The Netherbrain's ours.
We got to get her down there. Topple the big folk could work, actually. That could be a big hit. But we got to get down there first. Let me see about jumping. We'll take a bunch of... Okay, let me get us... Where can I actually get to here? Yeah, the problem is getting down, right? So I think we get to here. I guess we have to dash her, which uses her action, but... I don't see another way to do this. We can get to here.
Toes rings.
And then from here we can jump somewhere. No, I can't. I'm gonna have to dash. All right. No, nothing for it, unfortunately. There's a step down there. Is there any other way down? I don't know if we can like get down from here onto the lower one. Let's jump to here. And can I? No, I'm gonna have to. Okay, I'm gonna have to dash. Well, at least she's threatening it. We can't do anything else with her. All right, Astarion, head on in.
There you are, you wretched thing. Time to die.
All right, we need to get closer. We can get down to here, and that's probably all we need for him. Now, do I have an arrow of aberration slaying? This is 24 to 61 damage. If we crit, it can be higher. What about the arrows? 36 to 50 deals double damage to aberrations. Let's shoot this. See if we can add sneak attack on top. Okay, 21 plus 24. We got some retribution there. That's all he can do. I think we would have been better off with a sneak attack. Okay, come on now. Who's left? Tava, get in there.
This is it. Its will is weakening.
All right, fly on down. Get involved. We need the biggest damage we can get here to minimize the backlash. A Searing Smite, a Divine Smite. I think we want a Divine Smite at 3rd level, right? Branding. Divine Smite at 3rd level. Let's do it. And crit! Oh, that was good. Down to 144. Let's do it again. Down to 95. We might have a chance at this. I suppose we'll try. We should have done this first. We can try. 0% chance. All right, never mind. I think we're done here. About the only thing I could put down is Mind Sanctuary, and that's for myself. Or maybe me and Karlach. I don't know. I guess the Elderbrain's within it as well. Who's left? We're on Shadowheart. Get in there. Get in there, girl.
Its will is weakening. We have the upper hand. Time to end this.
Misty Step. Do I have Misty Step? Do I have a scroll of Misty Step? Misty Step. No. Somebody has one. Misty Step. Who's got it? Send it over to Shadowheart. Okay. You cast this and move yourself close enough to do what needs to be done. All right. Now, we need a big hit here. What have we got? Blight can get up to 64. Scroll of Dethrone can get up to 80. Disintegrate. Disintegrate this bitch. Do it. Okay. 70 hit points down to 19. We're almost there. Yeah. Yeah, you can finish it, buddy.
No! Resist! Impossible! Pain! Fear! Terror! Reconsider! Assess! Implore! Surrender!
There. At last. It is subdued.
Spare me. Join me. Wield me. Become absolute!
And thus, I honor my mother's legacy. The grand design, once again, ended by my line.
The brain is on the cusp of its final thought, and it's taking all of Orpheus's strength to keep it there. An opportunity, perhaps.
Go ahead. Command the brain to destroy all tadpoles, and then itself.
My master. I must obey. I must end.
Hopes, nightmares, and the screams of legions upon legions of unborn infants. The pain rips through you, obliterating all thought, all feeling. Your tadpole burns in your brain.
There goes the crown. We need that for Gale.
Silence. For the first time in a long time, your thoughts are entirely your own. And then, gravity.
Oh boy. Amazing. Yeah, get it, girl. Defend your child. Rise, citizens.
Everything you did, everything you sacrificed, it was worth it. For this.
Whew.
Hells. I'm lucky I learned to swim when I did.
My powers, they're draining. Just like Mazora said they would. A small price to pay in the grand scheme of things.
And I'm still standing in the sun. This is incredible. Maybe whatever had changed in me was permanent.
I can't feel the tadpole. They must have all died with the brain. That means we can't turn into mind flayers. Not that there's necessarily anything wrong with being a mind flayer, of course.
Even when my time in the prism stretched out like eternity, when escape seemed impossible,
Oh, Tava's back to normal.
lost hope. I knew that my destiny was to liberate my people, to return to them triumphant. I was wrong. It seems I can only fulfill one part of my destiny. My people will be liberated, but I cannot return to them. Not like this. You helped me destroy that abomination. Now help me destroy myself. You must kill me.
A true hero. Incredible. Incredible conviction.
Do it quickly. I cannot live in this skin a moment longer.
You don't deserve to die.
I will not be Gake. I did what I did to save my people. The rest,
Not sure where this rendering jitter is.
someone else must rise within the ranks to lead the revolution against Vlaakith. Give me my freedom from this form. Release my soul to the astral seas, while I still have one to call my own.
I think he'll find a way to kill himself no matter what. We could probably persuade him, but I think the moment calls for a kind of brutal kindness here. Your name will never be forgotten, Orpheus, and your tale will be told. You as much as we saved the people and prevented the grand design. If the honorable death is what you crave, it shall be what you receive. You've earned that much.
He was as noble in spirit as he was in bloodline. We're in his debt.
The Githyanki are departing in peace. Curious sight in a day already full of them.
With the Githyanki gone, there's nothing left but the silence of the city. Smoldering, waiting to be rebuilt. But it seems that Gale's mind is elsewhere.
The crown. It's somewhere in the Chiontha. If I salvage the stones, I can reforge it. The power of Karsus would be in my hands. But what then? What would I do with it once I have it?
Such power was not meant for mortals. Retrieve the crown and give it to Mystra as she asked.
Sage and timely counsel as always. And I intend to heed it. A wise man learns from his mistakes and strives not to repeat them. I shall bring the crown to Mystra. She'll cure me of my affliction. And I'll finally be free.
Better yet, you'll be her chosen again.
And a more deserving one this time around. If this adventure has taught me anything, is that there are things in this world far more valuable than power. Besides, growing quite fond of this merry band of ours, but I'd quite like to see what happens to it. I'm sure Mystra will summon me soon enough, but until then, I propose we celebrate our victory the mortal way, with a drink in our hands and reckless abandon in our hearts.
Sounds like a plan to me. What is our choice here? I think planning and strategizing for the future, duty and honor and all that, I think even Tava can put that aside for right now. A celebration sounds perfect. I think she just wants to wrap her arms around Shadowheart and bask in the relief that we finally cured ourselves of these tadpoles that started our adventure all those many, many episodes ago.
I honestly don't mind what we do once we get to the... Ow! What the... Oh, no. Oh, God. Well, it was nice when it lasted. Ah! I'm sorry. I have to go.
He has to get out of the sun.
I suppose that's the last time any of us will see him. And the last time I'll ever see the sun.
We did it, soldier. The city's going to be all right. And so are you.
Oh, Karlach. I'm so sorry I couldn't find a way to save you, my friend.
Engine's finally cooked. Held on just long enough. So, how'd I do?
You were spectacular in every way.
So are you. My friend. My companion. I adore you. never gave up. I did my best. I did my best.
That's the one thing I can't beat, isn't it? I wanted to live in my city with my friends.
But life is for the living. And I saw... Goodbye, son. Goodbye, sea. Goodbye.
No, stop. I won't allow this. Karlak, you're coming with me. Back to Avernus. We can't let her die. Not like this. Not now.
You can't.
Okay, we can advise her to go with Will. We can go with Karlak ourselves. She's so scared of going back to Avernus, though. I'm literally overwhelmed with emotion at this scene. It's so unfair, the choice that's been forced on her. I don't think we can make it for her. It's your decision, Karlak. You have to choose. Will will go with you. Zariel won't be able to touch you.
So, what do you say? Die here now, or live on with the blade of Avernus at your side. Zariel won't touch you. I swear it, Karlak.
Fine. I'll go. Well, with you. But we have to go. Now. Can't hang on much longer.
I'm so glad she made that choice. Even if she has to, deal with her fears and her PTSD, the fact that she's going to live on, incredible. And then there's hope, right? Hope that someday we can find a way to get her heart back.
You, who were destined to become a thrall. Thanks to you, there will be no Illithid empire, no death god's tyranny. You have earned your place amongst the legends of the Sword Coast. You are the saviors of Baldur's Gate.
I was afraid for the briefest moment when I woke this morning. I didn't know where I was. I thought perhaps it had all been a dream, stopping the Absolute, saving my parents. Then I realized I was in your arms. We did it. Everything's perfect. Almost, anyway.
So Astarion is gone. Gale is on his quest to retrieve the crown of Karsus. Will and Karlak have gone to Avernus. And that leaves us and Shadowheart. Yeah, she's still cursed with the pain. You cried out in your sleep once.
I know. It was her. Shah. Using the wound to hurt me. Out of pure spite. She can try to twist the knife all she likes. I know I can survive her worst. Nothing she does can sour the fact that I have my family again.
You deserve to be happy, all of you.
Thank you. Sometimes I have to remind myself of that very thing. It's nice to hear someone else say it. You and I... Our time together has been very dear to me. I had hoped maybe there might be more to come. It's not an exciting life that I lead, but I'd like you to be a part of it. I doubt I'd have anything at all if it wasn't for you.
I'd like nothing more.
Good. Then seek me out when you have time. I'm hoping to find some place I can settle down and stay close to my parents. Somewhere quiet, where they can find peace and gaze at the night sky. I'll keep a spot for you. It'll be just like old times.
Oh, cool. We get to see this, too.
Well, soldier, here we are. It worked. My engines calmed down.
Hello? I guess she's just staring at Avernus for a minute? I don't have anything to say here. This might be a bug. I'm gonna hit spacebar.
I shouldn't have let you come here. This isn't going to be easy, you know. Zariel's going to come at us with everything she's got.
Yeah, it's like it's getting stuck at the end of each section of... Alright.
Gods. Like clockwork. They'll be on us soon. But there's just enough time. Thought I was done with these. But then, there was you. Imps are fast, but careless. Don't let them tire you out. Just get rid of them. And don't forget, you asked for this. Better let these fuckers know I'm back. And this time, I'm not alone.
Kick some ass, you two.
Shadowheart found your peace in a country farmstead with a pack of pets and a garden of night orchids. You were basking beneath the silver moon after a midnight swim one night, and you notice a letter among your discarded clothes.
An
invitation to a gathering of the friends and allies who stood by your side in the fight against the Absolute. You waste no time in packing and set off on the long road back to where all of your adventures together began.
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, Together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
Okay, so we have a little finale here. Look at how much stuff we lost when we lost our half illithid.
Cannot remember the last time I heard the Ballad of the Endless Spring performed. Now there's a ditty worthy of a knee slap.
Miliel is up here performing.
Not overindulged tonight.
Instead of Volo, I guess.
Into bear form.
I didn't expect to be nervous. But seeing everyone here like this, it's strange, isn't it? I feel like I must have dreamed the last few months. Now I'm waking up back in camp with my hair smelling like wood smoke and fallen leaves stuck to my backside.
Your backside's just fine, trust me. I've been checking regularly.
Oh, I've noticed. Ever since I first slipped into my camp garments, I should think. I hope we won't seem terribly boring to everyone when they ask what we've been doing this past while. A cottage in the countryside. They may have been expecting something more... well, more.
This is hilarious. If in doubt, I can always lie. We've been slaying dragons and making love atop piles of gold. But no, we're a couple. It's our duty to bore them to tears with details of our adorable home life.
True. They might even be jealous of the bucolic life. Perhaps every adventurer secretly pines for a little flower-strewn cottage overrun with animals.
When you put it like that, we could open a guest house.
Oh, gods no, that sounds awful. They'd drag mud everywhere and eat us out of house and home. It's fine. Already passed. Shal must have sensed I was enjoying myself.
Kiss it better?
You'll seize any opportunity, won't you? But I suppose I've been giving you plenty of encouragement.
Give her a kiss.
Why, I feel better already.
Okay, I'll go take a look around. Be back soon.
Have fun. Just don't wear yourself out too quickly. I'm anticipating a long night ahead of us.
All right, lots of folks to check in with here. I wonder if she still has... No, she doesn't have Speak with Animals on, but we can just say hello to the owlbear. Hi, buddy. Scritchy, 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 scritchy. Yeah, that's nice. Sorry I didn't bring you out in the final battle, but I didn't fully understand how that worked. Let's go talk to some of our other friends. Who else have we got here? Look at this, we can pick stuff up. We can loot. We got Gale over here, and then Halson. Let's see how he's doing.
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, our paths cross once more.
He's still hinting? Let me guess, just as nature intended.
Just as I hoped they would, more like. The Oak Father has been kind to me this past while. Yet I cannot forget the bond we all forged together. It is one that can weather any distance, any passage of time. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day.
Futures, let's see. Sound like you need a drink.
Well, I am not normally given to imbibing, but this is a special occasion, and I believe our dear Withers procured a fine honey mead as part of the celebratory victuals. Even the most ascetic of nature's servants would be tempted by such an elixir, but that can wait. Your company is what truly drew me. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing.
You first, Halsin. I want to hear about the life you've made, the people you've helped.
In that case, very well. Our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home for all. In another 6 months, I would wager the scars of the past will be entirely invisible, even to those who remember them. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes, and the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony, stronger together.
Sounds wonderful.
It is, truly. Though a more complex, evolving beast than I could ever have anticipated. I spoke often of balance before. Only now do I realize that balance is no simple, fixed thing. We welcome folk from all walks of life. Anyone who wishes for a new start. Naturally, it can be chaotic at times, but it is a thrilling sort of chaos. It thrives in ways I could never have dreamed of.
I'm glad you're happy.
As am I. I may age more slowly than most, but I do believe I've gained some new laughter lines of late. Now, please, tell me all, and spare no details. I shall not lie. I have an ulterior motive in wishing to hear all. It is the children, you see. My charges. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. Another story, Daddy Halsin. Another is the chorus that greets me each nightfall. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake.
Okay. All right, let me see what I have.
I am all ears. Though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image.
Yeah, we'll tell him the truth. I mean, I don't know if these stories are what he's looking for, but let's just let him know.
You have kept yourself busy. I expected no less, in truth. I shall be able to keep the children enthralled for a few more nights yet, thanks to you. And should you wish to retell of your exploits in person, well, I shall not object to a night off. Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. I shall leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else.
I think we're done with him.
Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keepsake, really. Do you remember how I told you I like to whittle? I made this. Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company.
Man, he's got it bad. It's lovely, thank you.
Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough of your time. Go on. Enjoy the festivities. We can speak again later.
We received a whittled duck. All right, here's Jaheira. Let's see how she's doing.
Well, now. You can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to.
I missed you too, Jaheira.
How nice to be understood again. I have spent the past months bickering with builders and bankers, all to restore the city exactly as it was. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers, same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon, same cisterns overflowing.
I heard rumors the upper city was destroyed beyond reconstruction.
The upper city has been almost entirely rebuilt. That's where the gold is. Even the builder's scaffolds are cleared from the streets. No dust left to sneeze at. Baldurians simply get on with it. Stubbornness, civic spirit, plain stupidity. Perhaps all three. But nothing I will sniff at any longer. Harpers have come from half the world over to lend aid. Farmers, masons, healers. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already he plans crop cycles in Worm's Crossing. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist. Temporarily, you understand. To organize the craftsmen. Though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two if they don't expel her. Again.
You must be proud of them.
I suppose I am. I tried to steer them clear of my life's work, but they have chosen it for themselves. There is still much to do. People to house. A Harper network to rebuild. I may have little love for this city, but so long as my family chooses to serve it, I can do no less. For all your travels, I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you.
My home is with Shadowheart.
Ah, sentiment. With the greatest affection, I can think of better ways to sour our stomachs. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Some ne'er-do-well might have tampered with the wine.
All right, good check-in with Jaheira there. Let's see. I am wondering why there's weapons here, but,
Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage.
Oh, Shadowheart's mingering over here. Let's check in with...
Were we scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source these? God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
We never got that close with Minsk, so I don't think we need to talk to him, but we'll check in with. How's life as the Blade of Avernus, buddy?
Yes! You're here!
There you are, my friend. Breathe deep. Can you smell it?
Breathe deeply and take in the scents around you. Roll again, sure. Okay.
You take in every scent the night breeze carries. Sweet honeysuckle, tender violets, and an earthy fragrance you can't quite recognize.
I smell fragrant flowers and a mysterious scent I can't quite place.
Forest trees draped in moss. Bittersweet, smoky, and that faintest hint of vanilla. A far cry from the rancid Avernus heat that's been clogging my lungs. I swear, Karlak and I have felled enough Cambions to build a fortress with their horns. Who'd have thought that just one of those fiends held the key to escaping Avernus for good? One of them sported a map and some blueprints. If you want all the gory details, Karlak can fill you in. But get this. If those blueprints work, I could reverse engineer my stone eye. Instead of Mazora tracking me, I could track her. It's past time for her old pet to sink in his fangs.
I've missed traveling with you. You were a pleasure to be around.
I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side.
How have you been faring without your warlock powers?
I think the splinters I made out of the last bone devil I saw speak for themselves. Not to pat myself too hard on the back, but I'm not such a bad ranger if I do say so myself.
Good to hear it. Any time to visit your father?
I've seen him more than a few times, and he's as proud of me as I am of him. He's leading the city's renewal, opened the gates to all newcomers, rebuilt the council from scratch. And he's back in his element, commanding the Flaming Fist with brave heart and no shortage of empathy. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's Chosen primed the Fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but he's teaching the fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart. Well,
Okay.
That's enough hell talk for the moment. The night's young. You shouldn't go wasting it. Or wasting any of the wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oh, did I say half a bottle? I meant half a dozen.
Okay, you have fun, Will. Let's see, who else have we got here? I think we check in with Karlak. Well, let's talk to Gale first, and maybe Astarion.
Good song, good company, and good wine from the looks of it.
You see, Boo? I told you our friend was here.
Well, well. Look what the Tressim dragged in. Professor Gale Decarius of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance.
I see Mister didn't smite you in the end.
She did not. I'm delighted to report. I surrendered the crown of Carsus to her, as I told you I would. And in return, she cured me of the orb at last. Even now, I struggle to put the feelings into words. It was like exhaling for the first time after holding my breath for so very long. Of course, I haven't clarified with my students that the orb is no longer a threat. The legend of my explosive capabilities is an excellent means of controlling a classroom. Too good, if anything. And I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils.
Yeah. You used to take yourself rather seriously, you know.
I did. But meeting you, traveling the strangest of roads together, I learned to see myself differently. See the weave differently. In fact, I've actually been considering writing down the story of our adventures. The true tale of our flawed but ultimately endearing troupe, and the trials and tribulations we overcame. And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned?
I found the love of my life. I'd say I'm pretty happy.
And I couldn't be happier for you. A fitting reward for the sacrifices you made in getting here. I've told my students plenty of tales about our escapades. You're something of a hero to them, you know? I'd be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you.
Perhaps Shadowheart and I can give the lecture together.
I don't see why not. 2 heads are better than 1. Unless you're dealing with an Etin.
An Etin is a 2-headed giant.
Of course, you'll be most welcome to stay with me in my tower. My apologies, Tara. That would be our tower.
Oh, he found his Tressum and reunited with her. Great, his familiar. A lot of good things happening for Gale. Glad for him.
Give us plenty of time to catch up on your adventures. I'm very curious to know what you've been up to these past months. But I suspect the telling of that tale would keep you tied to me all evening. So, in the spirit of selflessness, I encourage you to mix and mingle for now, with time enough to come.
Okay. Is Withers here to speak to, or is he not? There's Tressum over there. There's Astarion. We need to speak with him.
Oh, pardon
I
me.
remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a...
Okay, looks like the only ones left to speak with are Astarion and Karlach. I think I'll finish with Karlach.
Well, look who decided to turn up. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his promise. But here we are. And you're looking more delicious than ever, if you don't mind me saying. Whatever you've been doing with your time, it clearly worked wonders.
You can thank my partner for that. Being with them has been a blessing.
Love is a powerful tonic. And where better to celebrate our good fortune? An old haunt with old friends.
The last time I saw you, you were running from the sun. What happened?
Exactly what I feared. Without the protection of our little friends, I was just an ordinary spawn again. Burning in the sun. I fled the dark and found refuge in the shadows until night fell. I'm sorry I didn't seek you out that night. I felt ashamed. Like I'd lost everything just as you claimed your victory. I didn't want you to see me like that. But time lent perspective. It wasn't your victory, it was ours. And for all I'd lost, I'd gained so much more. I had freedom, strength, a whole new life. And it was time to live it.
That is a remarkable improvement in character since we first met him.
Hero. It turns out no one actually cares about murder, as long as you murder the right people.
Yeah, when we first met him, he was secretive, deceptive, wily, extremely guarded. Now he sees us as a true friend. He's willing to admit his mistakes and vulnerabilities, and he's turned his inclinations to the fight for good. Astarion, one of the good guys. Who would have thought?
Let's not get carried away, darling. I'm still me. Perhaps more me than I've ever been.
So what's next for you? Going to keep living the good life?
Hardly. Good people don't spend as much time lurking in the dark as I do. You know, it's funny. At first, I thought I was trapped by the shadows, cursed to live in them forever. But in time, I realized that darkness is as much a part of me as my fangs. This is only a curse as long as I refuse to embrace the shadows. So, I decided I would. I decided not to be defined by the choices other people made, by what other people did to me. My past may be done. but my present, my future, they're mine. This is who I am, in all my glory, for better and for worse.
I'm glad to hear it. Acceptance looks good on you.
That being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, I am happy. We've had quite the journey, you and I. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew
He's so hilarious.
someone to take on the world with. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
Oh, that wraps a very nice bow on our relationship with Astarion. Very well done. Which means we've only got Karlach left to talk to. Where is she right now?
So goddamn beautiful here.
I had a spot of deja vu.
Not know where he gets it.
Oh shit. Oh my god! He wasn't kidding. With us, you mad bastard! You brought me back! Soldier. It's really you. I've missed you, man. Like, I've really missed you. And you're so clean.
I've missed you too.
I'd say so. Can't think of who's been carrying your pack now that Kay's out of commission. Man, we had some good times. Wish Will and I had more time to reminisce, but surviving Avernus is just non-stop. Still, having him there has been incredible. You really can get through anything with someone you love at your side. Oh, but hey, guess what we found? Cambion dropped a map with directions and blueprints for Zariel's own private forge. A fucking forge! Our current plan is to get in, grab a smith, and force him to fix old Rusty. Or maybe give me a brand new model that can live outside of Avernus. You haven't seen the last of old Karlach yet, soldier.
Ah, that's such a relief. I'm so happy for her. And that would make a great DLC, right? I'm so glad to hear you might be able to fix your heart. You must be so happy.
Trying not to count my owlbears before they've hatched. But the thought of coming back to Baldur's Gate keeps me going. Can I look you up when I'm out?
You'd better, or I'll hunt you down myself.
Hey, that would be kind of fun, though. High stakes hide and seek. Honestly, I'd be curious to see if you could land a blow or two.
No doubt, no
God, is it
doubt.
good to see you again. To be here together. Hard not to get used to it all over again. This won't be the last time. I promise.
All right, and with that, we've checked in with everybody. So, what do we do now? Go to the bonfire?
Hands on everything.
I guess? No, that just turns it out. What are we doing here? How do we finish? Oh, okay. End your adventure. Way down over here. So it looks like there is one last person to speak to, and I'm guessing it's Withers, right?
To press ahead.
Down here? Yeah, okay. It's been a long time coming, you guys. What an amazing game. I love that they give you this little epilogue, this little aftermath where you get to find out what's happened to everybody 6 months after the end of the adventure. It feels like we got some good closure on them, you know? All right, Withers, what do you have to say?
This one night is like any other, and yet different. Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate, until such time it requires saving again. How dost thou feel?
I feel satisfied. I accomplished everything I wanted to do.
I am pleased to hear it. The satisfaction of one's intention is, to my surprise, a rare accomplishment. Enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that much.
I think I've caught up with everyone. What comes next?
What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving.
To the greatest friends I could dream of.
To you.
Hero of the Forgotten Realms, baby. All is well that ends well. What an incredible game. I mean, goddamn, this is an epic achievement. Straight up 10 out of 10, no question. I've played dozens of CRPGs in my life, and while some of them have been masterworks in their own right, and some of them have been incredible games, no question, I don't think I've ever played a CRPG in this genre that as effectively mimicked the tabletop role-playing experience as this game. The amount of freedom of choice and the narrative, the narrative effort that went into making you care about the characters, care about the story. I mean, you start off with this very small problem. There's a worm in my head and I'm gonna die if I don't get it out. And it spirals and snowballs into this massive spiderweb of interlocking stories as you learn about who your companions are and what their motivations are, as you learn the deeper truth about the Dead Three, the Netherbrain, and the Grand Design. As you grow in power, the challenges get greater. You get, incredible abilities and equipment, but you never quite lose that sense of like, if I screw this up, I could still get everybody killed. Yes, there were a few bugs here and there, particularly in the third act, but just the ability to draw you into the fantasy, the music, the graphics, the writing, the voice work, everything about this game was spectacular from pretty much start to finish. And I, as a dungeon master who's spent 3 years running a game set in the Forgotten Realms, there was, for me personally, so much cool shit that I saw. To see all these characters that I've really only used as like tokens on a virtual battle map come to life. To see the creative new abilities and new kind of like the way they've adapted it to a computer game and a video game and given it so much creativity, put so much into it. It's just absolutely amazing. And the amount of content in this game. This is episode 200. My playthrough came in at somewhere like 150 hours. And I still, as I've said before, haven't seen everything because of the routes I took, the choices I made. There are other things hidden, other secrets, other Easter eggs, other pieces of equipment that I never found. Other builds you could try. There's honor mode. And we haven't even gotten into the fact that they might release DLC for this game. I'm not surprised it won so many awards. This game was absolutely straight up incredible. And I just had an absolute blast playing through it. What a remarkable experience. And all for $60. I've been playing this game for 2 months now. It's just amazing. I can't really come up with more superlatives to describe it. I have very, very, very few complaints. I would say, in terms of complaints, if I had any criticisms at all, the third act needs a little bit of polish. Some of the choices I made seem to confuse the game's scripting. I would say there are a few ways that the UI can trip you up, and there's not a good way to learn that other than by making the mistake and trying to figure out what happened. You know, I guess that's okay. I would say also, by the end of the game, once you hit level 12, the challenge kind of falls off a little bit. And that's kind of a problem that you have in real tabletop D&D as well, is that you kind of have to either give the enemies powers that can one-shot the characters and like have somebody sitting out while the rest of the party finishes the encounter, or you kind of have to like, they did a good job in this of making the high-level enemies a little bit more survivable against the onslaught of absolute wrecking ball power that the party develops. They did a good job, but I did feel the challenge died down a little bit in the latter half of Act 3. I mean, Raphael was probably the toughest fight, and it really wasn't that big of a challenge. I was a little nervous during the fight against the Elderbrain when I thought I only had 4 turns, but then I realized that's not 4 turns until we fail, that's just 4 turns until the Nautiloid shows up and adds more damage in. I do feel the most interesting missions were the timed missions because it does add another constraint. But there are some people who won't like that, and it does add a level of challenge that can be hard for some people to overcome, so I understand why they kept that limited. The timed mission in the underwater in the Iron Throne, that was incredible. One of the absolute highlights of the playthrough. And man, I loved my character stories. I mean, we spent pretty much the whole game with Shadowheart, Astarion, and Karlach, and their stories really got to me. But I imagine if you travel around with Gale and Will and Lae'zel, if she hadn't died so early, their stories are probably fantastic as well. And then the evil playthrough, right? Plus, you could do a playthrough where you just rush through Acts 1 and 2 to get to Jaheira and Minsk and do a party with them and Halsin and maybe kind of run around with the old guard. Anyway, absolutely astonishing achievement that they've come up with here. I tip my hats to the folks at this company, because what they've made is something truly special, truly spectacular, and a real tribute to the millions of people who've used their imaginations to create this kind of game on a tabletop with pen and paper and dice. And wow, just what an achievement for them. Okay, we're running at 1:13 here, which is like almost a double episode here. And for the last episode, that's okay. And I do like to go through the credits. I feel all these people put in an incredible amount of work, and they deserve to have their names scrolled. But I have a feeling this is going to be insanely long. And we're barely getting started here yet, as I've kind of spewed my thoughts for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes here. So I'm going to say thank you so much to everybody who made this game, and we're going to skip to the very end of the credits here and see if there's like a little post-credits scene, some little button that they put on the end.
There thou art, the dead 3. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou soughtst to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of vain, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel, felled by mortals. I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
And thus does Jurgle, the original god of death, shower scorn upon the would-be usurpers. All right. Well, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm sad that it's over, you guys, but incredibly grateful that I got to play such an amazing game. And so grateful to you guys for coming along on this journey. Your comments, your viewership, your likes, your subscriptions to my channel, all of that has motivated me to keep going. And I really appreciate you. That's it for Josue's Let's Play of Baldur's Gate 3. Until next time, guys, take care.